Hi, and welcome to the Boot Room YouTube, our first show of 2021. And we're here with Emile Heskey. And we're just going to do a little bit of a January transfer window roundup because there's been some strange goings on since we last spoke a couple of weeks ago. And Diego Costa is suddenly a free agent. Atletico Madrid tore up his deal. We know that he can't go to another Champions League club because there's a clause in his contract which means you have to pay him £15 million if he signs for a direct rival. Fortunately, the three clubs who have been linked, Tottenham, Arsenal and Wolves, are not in the Champions League. So can you see him coming back to the Premier League?
I think he likes the Premier League, doesn't he? He was really loved over here, not just from a Chelsea point of view, from neutrals as well. The way that he conducted himself when I say conducted himself, the way he put himself about, we love a player that has a go, don't we? So I think he was loved over here. When you're talking about the three clubs that you've mentioned, I think you could wipe off Arsenal because I don't think he really fits in the way that Mikel Arteta likes to play the foot. Everyone's got to be mobile and everyone's got to be willing to run around and run around a lot and work hard. So you can wipe them off. I think. Not saying that you can't do it, but on the scale that Arteta will probably want, I don't think Diego Costa will suit that. Wolves is probably the better fit, where they work their flanks a hell of a lot and get balls in. We've seen Jimenez scoring a hell of a lot of goals from Traore crosses. So yeah, I think that would probably be the better fit. Tottenham as well. With Harry Kane in there, is he willing to just sit in there and wait for an opportunity to get a chance to play? Probably not. Yeah, he is 32 now, but I don't think he'll be one of those players that will want to sit around and just wait for an opportunity to fall in his lap where he can actually go and take it. And at 32, do you have time to wait? Probably not. And as well, at 32, you can't just keep coming in and out of games thinking that you're going to make a difference. You need the consistency to get yourself up to speed as well.
Yeah, I think. Well, with Wolves being linked, I think we can all guess who the agent is, and unsurprisingly, it's Jorge Mendes. Who it seems like almost every one of his players tends to go through Wolves at some point. So I think that might be the pulling point where that maybe is the thing that drags him towards Wolves. And as you said, they are struggling without Jimenez. Fabio Silva's, he's a teenager, isn't he? And he's one for the future. He's a good player, we can see that. But, he needs time to develop his strength, his awareness of the game. And Costa does feel like a good short-term addition, doesn't he? Just to fit in while Jimenez is coming back.
Yeah, I think that's the best fit out of the three. Like I said, Arsenal, I don't think is a good fit for him at all. And I don't think it would be someone that Mikel Arteta would be looking at all that fits the bill that moving the club forward, because that's what he wants to do.
If you're an Arsenal fan and you did see Costa linked, would you be a little bit disappointed? Because they've got Eddie Nketiah there, haven't they? And it feels like maybe just give him a run of games instead.
Well, again, you do need the best thing for Arsenal to do is to be scouring the continent for looking for someone who's established but not old and can get you the goals that you want to get, like 20 plus goals a season. Because again, you can't. How many years are you going to get out of Diego Costa? You need someone who's going to get a consistent years out of him. Arsene Wenger used to do it very well. get players from all over the place and get 3, 4 years, 5 years out of them, and then sell them on for a premium as well. Yeah. So I think that's the model they've got to go on.
Well, from Arsenal onto Leeds, there's been some quite big name signings linked with Ellen Road as well. There's talk of Lucas Vazquez from Real Madrid, who is one of their star players at the moment, playing at right back, playing really well. Zidane's a massive fan, but he has apparently rejected a new contract, and his current deal is about to expire at the end of the season. And then there's Julian Draxler as well, who, despite all his talents, isn't getting a game at all at PSG. Do you think Leeds have got a chance of getting either of those two players?
The thing is, you can't count anything out because, again, the Premier League is probably the best of the best watched, and I would argue that it's the best league in the world. So people will be wanting to come there, and when you've got a manager of the ilk of Bielsa, of what he's actually done and what he's creating at Leeds, it turns people's heads, and people don't necessarily go for that for the club. They go for the coach and the manager and who the players are there. So once one starts coming in, I think that's a floodgates for more and more, and especially when you've got a manager who's very open-minded in the way that he is and plays some free-flowing football. Probably too free-flowing for some. But again, you look at it, I think West Brom have conceded the most, but then Leeds are the second, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But again, they score a lot as well.
Yeah.
So it's quite entertaining, isn't it? So,
yeah.
I think Leeds have turned out to be everyone's second club again.
Yeah. I think with Draxler as well, can you imagine him alongside a Click or a Phillips in the midfield? It just seems like it would take them to a new level, wouldn't it? Just having someone who can open up a defence like that.
I think when you're looking at the players that they're linked to, it would take them to a new level. But again, you've got to have the manager to be able to, one, attract them, and two, deal with them.
Yeah.
And they have the manager to do that.
So what would you say to a player like Draxler, who was at a massive club, but he's not playing and he's not getting the game time he maybe deserves? Should he maybe take a step back and just think, right, Leeds aren't the same level of PSG. They're not going to be playing Champions League. They're not going to fight for trophies. But does he just need to play games again?
But again, when you say Leeds aren't in the same level, yes, you're talking about in the tournaments that they're playing in, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the league, Leeds have more eyes on them than PSG, I think.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the league in whole, PSG are a massive, massive club, but the league isn't overly competitive.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's been viewed as much as, say, the Premier League. So your Leeds, your Burnleys, your teams like that are getting more views than some of the bigger clubs in the other countries.
Yeah. And it's worth pointing out as well that Germany have got the European Championships coming up. Draxler's a massive player under Joachim Löw. He's like the key midfielder and he's captained him on occasions as well. So if he can go to a club like Leeds, play regularly, that can only boost his chances of featuring at the tournament.
Of course. Any player playing in their teams, they need to be playing regularly, or the manager won't necessarily pick you or look at you. So him sitting on the bench in PSG is doing nothing for him wanting to go to Euros, etc.
Yeah. And on to Southampton. Well, former Southampton player Graziano Pella, who apparently could return to the Premier League of West Ham. He's 35 now, but he is a free agent. He had a £260,000 a week deal in China, which has just expired, so he's going to have to take a bit of a pay cut. But is that a signing that you would endorse?
Probably not. I think West Ham will have to look at what they've actually got there. I know they got Haller, and they'll probably say that's a step up. But again, Haller's 26 years old. You're taking a 35-year-old who, yes, has done it in the Premier League, but hasn't been here playing in the China for how long? For the last 3 at least years. Plus, if they can get Mikel Antonio fit, would you need him? Would you need Pella? Yeah. I don't think so. Antonio's done a fantastic job for West Ham. He's played everywhere and been the best player in every position that he's played in. And now he's up front and he's looked like a competent forward. He's scoring goals. He's holding the ball. He's bringing players in. He's flicking the ball on, winning his own flick-ons. I can't talk more highly of the guy, to be honest with you. And if you're going to bring anyone in, again, are you going to be bringing in a 35-year-old to give you 6 months to a year of service, or are you looking further afield and looking for someone who can give you 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. And there's another 30-something-year-old who's been linked to a move to the Premier League, a little bit more high profile. It's Sergio Ramos, who apparently, well, he might not be staying at Real Madrid. I'm sure in the end he'll get his new contract, but there's talk of Tottenham. Obviously, he's worked with Jose Mourinho before and he's won trophies with him. Is that a possibility, or do you just think this is a classic case of trying to push Real Madrid into giving him that new deal?
Yeah, I think this is along them lines. We've seen it before. I think we were talking about it off air where we were saying, wasn't he linked to Man United?
Yeah, 2015,
and then got his new deal. So this could be another case of that. Or Spurs could be doing some shrewd deals where they're actually bringing someone in who's going to obviously bring more money, more revenue as well, because he's a massive name. Shirt sales, sponsorships, everything that comes along with that. It's great business at times.
Yeah, and it seems like Mourinho has really prioritised players who've got that CV and winning trophies in the past. I mean, he's brought in Gareth Bale and Joe Hart, and they're not guaranteed starters, but it's the impact that they'll make behind the scenes as well. So, Ramos would be a big inspiration, wouldn't
he? Yeah, I think bringing the right characters into the change rooms, into the squad that are winners, that have won, that know what it means to win, know how to win, know how to motivate people to win. Because you can't do it on your own. You need other people around you that will be doing a little bit of the groundwork as well, and that is players in the change room. And having the right mentality in the change room is the key. And I think this could be someone.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we'll get back in touch in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure by then Diego Costa will be in China. Real Madrid will have a new deal for Ramos, and Draxler will be stuck on the PSG bench again. But thanks for that, and if you like, share and subscribe if you want to see more videos from The Big Room.